Happy Thanksgiving, everyone, and welcome to Oblivion as always. I hope you're all enjoying the holiday in your cozy homes with the wonderful smells of all the food filling the house. We're going to go around the table and say what we're thankful for. Jason, most appropriate that you start us off.
This Bloody Mary on this fine Sunday.
Okay, that's a good thing to be thankful for. I'm thankful for this podcast where we get to talk about fun and awesome shit. And I'm thankful for Eli Roth. And we're doing the third of his movies today that we've covered on the pod in a little over a year.
You're welcome.
We're talking about Thanksgiving from 2023, everybody. I'm Dusty Lane.
I'm Jason Mitchell.
And we are the Cinebytes.
Hello?
I came for you. We have such sights to show you.
It was an excellent day for an exorcism.
I said, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains in.
I want to play a game.
What's the boogeyman?
As a matter of fact, it was. This is God.
We all go a little mad sometimes. Haven't you?
But sometimes that is better.
Well, here we are, everybody gathered around the table to talk about Thanksgiving, the film from 2023 by Eli Roth. Again, man, third movie by Eli Roth that we've done in a year. What's going on with that?
Dude, he's great.
I'm definitely not going to say that he's not great. I really love this movie, start to finish. Studios involved here, we've got TriStar, Spyglass, Dragonfly, and Sony Pictures Distribution. Rated R, a runtime of 106 minutes. This was a fucking long one, dude.
It kind of was, yeah.
Our setting is Plymouth, Massachusetts, and oh my fucking god, kid. All the Boston accents in this movie, holy shit.
Boston.
Our plot is basically on the anniversary of a Black Friday tragedy. John Carver decides to do a little carving of his own and goes ham on the town.
Nice.
We've got quite a hefty cast list on this one, so I'm just going to kind of rattle them off. Our main crew that we need to be concerned with mostly here is Sheriff Eric Newland, played by Patrick Dempsey, McDreamy himself. We've got Mitch Collins and Amanda Collins, played by Ty Olson and Gina Gershon, who apparently texted Eli Roth at some point. She was like, yo, bro, when are you going to put me in a horror movie?
Yeah, hell yeah.
He happened to be working on the script for this at the time, and he was like, you know what? I got just the thing for you.
Nice knowing somebody, huh?
Right. Thomas Wright and his fiancée, Kathleen, they didn't get married, did they? It was just his fiancée? Or was it his wife? Maybe it's his wife.
I don't know.
Either way, Thomas Wright is played by Rick Hoffman, which... this is the first movie I actually like this dude in. Every character he plays in every other Eli Roth movie is always this despicable prick.
Right.
And he's just got this face on his face that I can't.
You with the face.
Can't deal with the face, man.
Yeah, I get that.
But yeah, Rick Hoffman and Kathleen, played by Karen Cliche. That's an interesting name. His daughter, Jessica Wright, played by Nell Verlaque. That's our true main character in this movie. Bobby, played by Jalen Thomas Brooks. And then they have a whole little friend group consisting of Gabby, played by Addison Rae, Evan, played by Tommaso Sinelli, Scuba, which is the most fun name I've ever heard of. We get an explanation as to why he's called Scuba later, played by Gabriel Davenport. We've got Yulia, played by Jenna Warren. And I think that concludes our little clique here that we have running around trying to solve this mystery. Other characters around them, we've got a bunch of people in here. We've got Ryan, who kind of moves in on Jess after Bobby dips out for a while, played by Milo Manheim. We've also got Manny the security guard, played by Tim Dillon. Lizzie, who is one of the people at the Black Friday sale, played by Amanda Barker. She was super excited about being in this movie, apparently. She cried over the fact that she got a death scene. She was so happy.
Yeah, hell yeah.
She's just always been into horror, and it was like a dream come true for her. We got fucking McCarty, played by Joe Delphin. We've got another cop coming into the scene, Deputy Brett LaBelle, played by Jeff Teravainen. Detective Peter Chu, played by Russell Ewan. We've also got Lonnie, the fucking asshole from Hanover, one of the guys in the crowd at the Black Friday sale as well, played by Mika Amundsen, and his girlfriend Amy, played by Shaylin Griffin.
Damn.
Finally, music by Brandon Roberts and cinematography by Milan Chadima of Hostel. He did the cinematography for Hostel as well.
Hell yeah.
So we're in good hands here, everybody. This movie was based on the Grindhouse trailer that I think was seen in Planet Terror. It was one of those Grindhouse movies that they came out in the early 2000s, mid 2000s.
Either Planet Terror or Death Proof. Right?
Yeah, that was the other one, right? Yeah. And apparently they used the same font for the title card on this movie that they used on that trailer. So that's pretty cool. And the killer's costume is inspired by actual paintings of the real-life John Carver. Came over on the Mayflower. He was the first governor of the colony or something like that.
I was going to say, it looks pretty pilgrimy, you know?
Yeah, I do like the design of this costume for the killer. Like, for some reason, I don't know what it is exactly, but the pilgrim is legitimately creepy.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
And apparently, with the portrayal of that, Eli Roth intentionally used multiple actors behind the mask so as not to give away the killer. So anytime you're seeing him on the screen, he might be played by a different person.
Hell yeah.
So that's pretty dope. But yeah, dude, let's get into this. I'm excited about this. I really like this movie. Start to finish, it does a fantastic job of just putting you exactly in Thanksgiving.
Oh, absolutely.
Every Thanksgiving memory you have is encapsulated in this film, whether it be the family dinner or just the weather outside in general. The light that that is settled around the town when you're in late November like that.
Oh yeah.
But we get into the movie here. First of all, the score is great. We've got some production graphics to open us up, and then we get sort of an homage to Halloween. There's a point of view shot. Clearly, dedicated to Halloween. Yeah,
the leaves falling and all that. Yeah,
But from this point of view, there's someone creeping up toward a house. Hockey stick on the door just to let you know we're in Boston.
Right.
I thought it was a nice touch. We get a card that says Plymouth, Massachusetts, Thanksgiving. And our first exchange here is a pretty funny one. This guy opens up his door and there's a sheriff standing there and he's talking to him. He's looking for a perp. And he describes the turkey. He's like, golden brown complexion, 15 pounds, no head. And who we find out to be Mitch, he's like, oh, I know where he is. I'll even serve him up on a silver platter for you.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But then he lets in the sheriff. Eric Newland is his name. He comes in and says hi to Amanda, and then Mitch gets a call from Thomas. So we'll learn who all those names are in just a minute here. Newland comes in and says he baked pumpkin pie, and you can tell immediately that there's something going on between Amanda and Eric, some sort of affair. She goes, oh, a man in uniform that knows his way around the oven? You won't be single for long.
Right.
Gives him a little look, and you're like, oh, fuck. We cut back and forth between a couple of different families. We've got the Collins family, which we're leaving, and the Wright family, who we're introduced to now. At the Wright family house, there's a girl named Jess and her stepmom, Kathleen. They're having a little conversation. Kathleen's like, jeans at Thanksgiving. Fucking Jess goes off on her. She's like, I like to be comfortable in my own home. And Kathleen fires back, isn't it our home now? So, okay, stepmom energy.
Right, oh yeah.
But then Thomas comes in. He's our family patriarch. The mayor's also hanging out there. He says, I thought we were going to have to eat frozen turkey dinner. Good of you to join us, Thomas.
Damn, dude.
But Thomas is a busy man. He says he's opening the store on Thanksgiving. They always did the Black Friday thing, but people were showing up at 6 p.m. anyway, so they're just opening the store early. And apparently this was Kathleen's idea.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, if they're already there, why not, right?
I suppose, dude, but that's not how things work. If you want to suffer through Black Friday shopping, you're going to have to suffer waiting in lines as well. I'm sorry. At the Collins home, Amanda brings out a turkey to the table, and it looks terrible. Could have used another 15 minutes or so, looks like. I'm not sure.
How rude, Dusty.
I'm sorry. Well, at least I didn't have to sit there and tell them that. Amanda calls out to Mitch that they need his carving skills, and he comes out and he's like, well, I got time to carve, but not to eat. I have to go to work because Bob went AWOL. Fucking Bob. It's always a Bob, dude.
Bob.
But Mitch has to cover that shift or he's fired.
Fuck.
He's the manager at the Wright Mart. He's like bitching about it. He's like, oh, Black Friday starts on a Thursday now, even in Plymouth. He stabs the turkey. That's not really carving it. Thanks for ruining dinner, dick.
Yeah, I don't blame him. He's pissed off. It's Thanksgiving.
He is, but that doesn't mean you have to ruin everybody else's turkey. What the fuck?
That's true.
We cut to a crazy crowd outside of Wright Mart. There's barricades set up all over the place. People are starting to get pretty testy.
Yeah, dude, it looks rowdy as shit.
It
Like, might as well be
dude.
outside of a
Have you ever
concert.
been out Black Friday shopping?
Not like that, no.
Dude, I've never seen anything like this. I've seen long lines, but never like an actual fight or anything, which maybe I'm just not in the right areas.
Barricades and shit, man. Like,
Getting lucky,
holy
yeah.
shit.
Oh my God. Everybody's screaming at each other in the thickest Boston accents. There's one dude, Lonnie, comes up and he's like yelling at Lizzie at the front of the barricade. He's like, "Hey, Bon Jovi, get to the back of the line." Lizzie's like, "Suck my dick. We were here first." Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, damn.
Just the worst in people coming out on Black Friday as usual.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
There are only 2 security guards, and neither one looks like they want to be there.
Right.
They're telling everybody to be patient, and then Lonnie yells out again. He's like, "You'll be a patient in Mass General." One guard asks the other if he wants a Xanax, and he's like, "No, how about a fire hose, dude?" Like,
Yeah, damn.
inside, employees are gearing up for the fucking madness that we're about to see. We get some security footage shots.
Yeah, dude, I like these. They do that throughout this movie while we're in the store anyway, and it's pretty cool. Nice
Yeah.
touch.
Yeah, I like it. Back at the Wright house, Jess doesn't like her soon-to-be stepmom, is what I wrote down, so maybe they are engaged. She's talking to Bobby, and she goes, "When she sold my dad this house, I didn't realize she was coming with it."
Oh, yeah. That's crazy, dude.
Bobby tries to comfort her. He's like, "Well, it was a quick engagement. Maybe it'll be a quick divorce."
Right.
They get picked up from this nightmare by a group of friends. We've got Evan, Gabby, Yulia, and Scuba. His name is Scuba fucking Dibing. We find out later that I think his name is Claude or something like that.
Yeah.
But they call him Scuba because his last name is Dibing.
Yeah. Nice.
At any rate, they say they're going to the movies, and when Bobby and Jess are leaving the house, Thomas is like, "Hey, I want to hear about that 19 strikeout game against UCLA when you get back," because Jess's boyfriend is Bobby Golden Arm DeStasi.
Damn, son.
And yeah, apparently he's like a baseball pitching phenom.
Right.
Yeah, like I said, I actually like Rick Hoffman in this. He's got some warmth to him, I guess, not just
Yeah,
a
a
fucking
little bit.
asshole.
Kind of.
He ends up pulling through in the end. He does the right thing. This is a good character. Even if he's an asshole to start us off, he turns it around in time. You know what I mean?
Yep, for sure.
Apparently, Evan, which is he's driving the car. He almost got them in trouble for fighting a guy from Hanover, Lonnie. That's the guy already in the crowd over at Right Mart.
Right.
And he's like, "Yeah, I popped him in the eye, but Gabby was too busy filming herself to get footage. It would have broke the internets."
Right.
Like, all of them? Did you put an S on the end of that word, dude?
The internets.
Gabby says he's lucky that she didn't because it was Waffle House level cringe. Eek, say no more.
Hey, I love Waffle House.
More like Awful House, am I right? So the kids pull up in front of Right Mart, and Evan says he wants to make a pit stop for a phone in the store. This is not a fucking pit stop, my dude. On Black Friday?
That's what I thought too. Like, oh, we're just casually gonna, well, we can run in real quick. Like,
Yeah.
dude, look at the fucking crowd.
Let's go make this 3-hour pit stop, guys.
Yeah, look at the traffic. Yeah, I'm just gonna run in here real quick.
Bobby says he thought they were going to the movies, and Evan says we are, but how am I going to text during the movie without a phone? Gabby's like, "Yo, who are you fucking texting, dude?"
Right.
Someone says, "Hey, you can't park your car here." And he's like, "It's not a car, it's an SUV."
Kids.
Bobby's got fans coming up to him trying to get pictures in the parking lot.
Yeah,
There's
damn.
one dude talking about, all-time record holder for strikeouts at Plymouth East. Cool.
Yeah. Dusty is not impressed, and that's okay.
Suddenly, a creep named Ryan slinks up to Jess, and he invites her to a get-together on Saturday, and she says she's busy, but he keeps trying to convince her until Bobby comes up and squashes it.
Yeah, he's super persistent.
Oh, yeah.
You can tell he's kind of weird.
And no means no, Ryan. Ryan's friend Scott is fucking with him for getting shot down.
Oh yeah, shut the fuck up, Scott.
Yeah. He's like, "I love you, dude, but I'm going to fucking kill you." And
Yeah,
Scott's
right.
like, "Try your best." So Sheriff Eric and Amanda walk past the barricades, and in another section, so do the other kids, which is our main friend group here. Lonnie sees them walk through and starts to make a scene, and then Scuba and Evan turn around and they yell, "Suck my cock" in unison.
Yeah.
Did they plan that? Is that just like their thing?
I think so.
Yelling, "Suck my cock." Lonnie fires back and he's like, "Fuck you, cousin, fuck you, second cousin, and fuck you, dog." Like,
Yeah,
Jesus.
damn.
The dog, man? Why the dog?
Leave the dog out of this.
Yeah, dog didn't do shit to you. He yells out to the security, though. He's like, "Why are you letting those jerk-offs in there?" Crowd's starting to get pretty restless at this point.
Yeah, shit's getting out of control here. He starts getting mocked from everybody from inside the store too, you know, and that's kind of stirring shit up.
I love the fucking security guard that yells, "It's Thanks fucking giving."
Yeah.
That's Manny.
Yeah, please, people.
But yeah, inside, Mitch is trying to get his crew in gear, and then Amanda walks in and gives him his Thanksgiving dinner. That was sweet of her.
Yeah,
She's with
nice.
with her little boy toy while she's doing it. Anyway, Eric says he got a call on the radio about some crowd control. Yeah, that would be nice. I don't know if you saw it out there.
Yeah, it's rowdy. It's like a Slayer concert.
Right. So rowdy, in fact, Mitch tells Amanda to wait inside. And she just kind of stands there as everyone else strolls off. That was weird. She's just like going to stay put in that one spot.
In the middle of the floor.
They're walking through the store, our main friend group here. And Evan tells the others that Lonnie's like 30. He got held back a couple of years. He's dating a cheerleader. Yulia and Gabby are like, "Hey, Jess, does your dad still sell shot collars? Or a tranquilizer, or a sedative, anything to shut Evan the fuck up?"
Right.
Evan throws a football across the store, and Jess is like, "What happened to a stealth mission, guys?" Mitch goes outside and he announces to the crowd that the store is going to open in 10 minutes. And he says everybody's going to get their Furbies. They're not selling Furbies in 2023, my dude. Lonnie points out that the others are already inside, and Evan keeps kind of taunting everyone. He's inside, like, bench pressing a waffle iron.
Oh, yeah.
And right in front of the window.
Yeah, he's being a dick,
asshole.
but it's stirring the fucking crowd up, though.
Oh, yeah,
know?
Big time. Mitch tells security guard Doug to lock the doors, so he runs in to do that. And then Eric uses the bullhorn to tell everybody to push back, but then Lonnie takes the fucking bullhorn and tells everybody the store is open. Cue the fucking stampede.
Right, yeah. The barriers come down.
Oh, my God.
And then everybody's just rushed and pushed up against the door. It's like a fucking cartoon.
Like the barricades push over and people fall down over them.
Right.
And then they're immediately getting trampled. It's insane. So the crowd starts running, but they only run like 50 feet to the glass and they stop again.
Right.
Like, okay. Big fucking help there.
People start getting smushed.
Right. Eric calls for backup, almost immediately gets knocked down. Mitch yells out to Manny for help. He sees everything getting out of hand and he's like, "Fuck this, I'm out." Manny just runs the fuck away.
Yeah, he's like, "Hell no, dude. I'm not getting paid enough for this bullshit."
Right. Inside, the group sees the chaos ramping up and they start to get concerned. Jess is freaking out. She goes to Doug, "Hey, open the fucking doors. Everybody's going to get crushed."
Right.
And Amanda agrees. She's like, "Yeah, open them up." And Doug is trying to. They're trying to tell him to go get Mitch from outside. Like, they're trying to save him, basically.
He totally panics here, though, because he runs over and he's going to unlock the door and he's fumbling with the fucking keys.
He's all nervous about it, struggling with those. And then the fucking zombie crowd outside, pushing against the wall, starts, like, spider webbing the glass. And then they fucking burst down the doors right on top of poor Doug.
Yeah, dude. Shit's crazy as hell.
Yeah, dude. The crowd fucking stampedes in and tramples him. Evan jumps up on a cash register to film everything. Fucking asshole.
Yeah, which is crazy, too, because they're like, "Oh, my God, help me." And he's like, "No, just get out of the way. Can you see all this?" You know?
Yeah, he's like, "This is going to be fucking gold. Oh, my God."
Little asshole.
There's one guy that's getting pushed into the door, and he ends up slicing his neck on a shard of glass sticking out of the frame.
Yeah, so when the door broke, it didn't completely break, so there was
there's
shards sticking around the frame still.
Yeah, I recently got my back window in my car busted out. I had to replace. But yeah, there's going to be little pieces of it, especially in a door like this. Like, obviously there's safety glass in my back window, so it kind of shatters into a million pieces.
Right.
But with this, the pane of glass, like, yeah, there's going to be spots that are sticking out. So it's pretty realistic to think being pushed through this door, this guy just gets his fucking throat slit.
Yeah, dude, just like the side of it just like gored wide open.
Yeah, man. Opens him right up.
Sick, dude.
Amanda gets pushed down by somebody, and the turkey dinner goes flying out of her hands, and the guy next to her slips on the food immediately. Lonnie runs up and grabs a waffle iron and smashes somebody with it. He's like, "Fuck you. Why would you want to damage the thing that you came there to get, though?"
Oh, dude, yeah.
That's the question.
People are fighting over things, but using the things for weapons.
Why are people so crazy about waffle irons in particular? I didn't know waffles were that popular.
The guy that had his neck cut comes up and grabs a waffle iron as he's bleeding to death, you know, like falls over.
Yeah, as he's dying, he grabs it and falls backwards with it.
Oh, yeah. Well, at least he got...
That's a victory in my book.
Right?
He went out on top. He won.
We get another really cool cut. In the middle of all this craziness happening, we get some more of that security footage.
Mm-hmm.
We have some Christmas music playing
Yeah.
while it's rolling. It just really takes you out of the madness for
I
a
believe,
minute.
it's funny because we have everybody going crazy, fighting each other. It's fucking madness in the store. And then, very quietly, we just cut to the fucking security cams, and there's like a bank of at least, I don't know, 4 screens or something like that.
Right.
But yeah, they overdub with the music that's playing through the store, and it's fucking like Christmas music, Deck the Halls or whatever. So fucking funny.
Nice touch.
Bobby and Jess are in shock at the madness surrounding them, and they see Amanda, who's trying to crawl away. And I'm thinking this whole time, hey, how about you just fucking stand up?
Yeah.
Maybe try standing up?
I kind of thought
I don't
that
know.
too. Yeah, why are you... I mean, it's crazy in there, but not crazy enough that she couldn't have got up and got out of the fucking way.
Right, yeah. There was plenty of time to stand up and fucking walk away.
Because what's about to happen is absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. Gabby yells over at Evan to get down. He's like, no, fuck that. This is awesome. I can't stop filming. Bobby notices Doug is alive but not doing well, and he starts to crawl his way over to help him. And he gets his fucking golden arm stomped and completely snapped.
Oh, yeah, it's gross.
It is not looking good for his baseball career, guys.
Compound fracture.
Right. But I thought again, why don't people just stand the fuck up?
Right.
So a random lady walks up and takes the waffle iron out of the dead hockey fan's hands. The guy that bled out a minute ago.
Right.
And Amanda, still crawling, gets rammed into at full speed with a shopping cart. And her head bounces off of it hard as shit. Oh my God, dude. She gets nailed with this shopping cart.
I really don't think this is possible, but it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Death by shopping cart.
Right. So Lizzie at this point, the lady outside that said, suck my cock, she argues with the guy about who's a Muppet and who's not. She says something about go back to Fraggle Rock. That was pretty funny. Meanwhile, Amanda's hair has gotten tangled up in the wheels of the carts between these two, between Lizzie and the person she's arguing with.
Mm-hmm.
And she gets fucking scalped on the floor and bleeds out. Like, as these carts pull away from her, they're pulling her fucking skin off of her head. It's insane. She bleeds out all over the floor.
Gross.
Massachusetts is the perfect setting for this. Like I said, I was out on Black Friday once. There were a ton of people, but I don't remember seeing it being this primal. But all that like Irish Catholic guilt and Bostonian anger are a fucking powder keg for shit like this. So people are fighting all over the place, and Mitch discovers Amanda dead on the floor, and he freaks out and calls for help. That's when Sheriff Newland also sees it, along with all the various other injuries and casualties happening. He has a moment where he's like, holy shit, that's happening, that's happening, that's happening.
Right.
I have to fucking stop this. And he screams stop and fires his gun in the air, which gives us our title card.
Fuck. Yeah.
Crazy fucking opening, man.
I was going to say, what a way to set the tone for just whatever. Black Friday, Thanksgiving. That's why we're covering this. It's just perfect. And there wasn't really another movie like this, you know? So a great start.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic start.
Couldn't agree more. We then cut to 1 year later. We cut to a laptop that's playing Evan's video of the incident. And I love the captions on it. Like, there's at one point it goes, no waffles for this bitch.
Right.
And then at the very end of the video, it says like and subscribe. Like, fuck you, dude.
Yeah, it's a total... Kid's a dick. Whoever made that fucking video.
So whoever's watching this on this laptop, a black leather-gloved hand slams the laptop closed, and then we pan past a bunch of newspaper articles about the Black Friday tragedy. Apparently there were no arrests made, it was ruled an accident, and Thomas Wright and the Wright Mart Empire were exonerated.
Right.
On the TV, the reporter Hank Morton reports on this year's plans. So the store is still opening, but it's beefing up security, but people are protesting, saying it shouldn't be open at all.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, that happens. You have something like this go on, and I mean, it's pretty damn realistic.
Mm-hmm.
There'd be all kinds of boycotting of the store, whatever.
Right. So Mitch gives an interview bitching about Thomas Wright's mistakes, and he's like, you and your family should go to prison.
Yeah, he's pissed off.
But, like, why the family, though?
Right. This is all your fault.
Like, you can't put Jess in jail just because of that. I don't know.
Right.
Thomas has tried to do right since the incident, apparently. He's restored Plymouth Park and started a Wright Family Foundation that sends local kids to college. That's nice.
Yeah, a bunch of donations and almost maybe too much.
Trying to save face.
Feel kind of guilty or what?
Right.
Yeah, something going on.
They also mention, oh yeah, Bobby's injury was career-ending. That sucks.
Right.
Apparently, we find out the security cameras malfunctioned the night of the event.
Yeah, there's no footage of that night at all.
What the fuck?
I mean, there's all kinds of weird shit. Even, okay, so Bobby had a career-ruining injury, but he also hasn't been seen since.
Yeah,
so
he just kind of disappeared after that.
Yeah, so what the fuck's up with that?
He was fucked up, man. Baseball was his life. He couldn't do baseball anymore.
Yeah, but still.
Speaking of the security cameras, we're still on this news interview, and Mitch says they were working fine except for that one night. That's pretty fucking suspicious, don't you think?
Yeah.
We zoom out of that screen, and then all of a sudden we are from the killer's lair to the diner that Lizzie works at, the Capotane Diner, which I had no fucking idea what it was, but apparently that's the name of the pilgrim hat, a Capotane.
Oh, yeah. That's interesting.
So Lizzie hands somebody a John Carver mask, and then Sheriff Newland walks in. She's like, oh, hey, you want the usual? And he asks for a second cup because there's another deputy starting today.
Right.
And,
new cop on the force.
Right. Lizzie says, oh, yeah, I met him. He was in here the other day. He's not much for conversating, though. She goes, he's a real charmer.
Pretty good driver, too, evidently, huh?
Oh, yeah, this fucking giant truck that rockets into the parking lot. Fucking, there's this dude in a hatchback that yells, what the fuck? We find out later that's Detective Peter Chu.
Mm-hmm.
And then this new deputy leans out of his big-ass truck and he says, fuck you.
Yeah.
Dude, they're both great deliveries, honestly.
Right.
But yeah, Lizzie gives the deputy a mask as soon as he walks in. She's like, oh, here you are. It's John Carver, who was apparently the first governor of the New Plymouth colony. Newland says Thanksgiving is an institution around here, and LaBelle puts on the mask along with the Capotane, and he says, oh, I could get used to this. And we get like a close-up of him in that moment, so that's our like red herring number one. Like, right. Oh, is this guy suspicious? No, he's fucking not.
Right.
It's fine. We cut to a little street festival, and Evan is there. He's throwing axes at a stump, holding the kids behind him up. He's like, well, I got it in both of the top two rungs. That means I get to go again. Shut the fuck up, little kid.
Right. Being a dick, per usual.
Yeah, that's classic Evan. Gabby and Jess are talking about how someone keeps posting the video of the Black Friday incident and tagging them in it. Uh-oh.
Yeah, shit.
That'd be kind of scary, right?
So somebody's pissed off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Evan walks up all proud of the candy apple he won for hitting the bullseye 3 times in a row. Gabby shows him that someone's posting the video again, and he thinks she's blaming him, so he gets pissed and walks away. He's like, I'm going back to the axe pit. It's safer there.
Guess he's not wrong.
Well, as he walks away, he points out, he's like, I'm not the only one with a phone that night. She's the only one I saw filming.
Right.
Jess says she has to go to the John Carver house to film a commercial with her dad for Right Mart.
Oh, yeah.
And cool. Like the house is like in a historical reenactment village sort of a thing, like a Sauter's Village or Greenfield Village.
Right.
The original home is there along with like actors telling you things about it, whatever. Kathleen is there. She's chatting up Eric about making her stuffing. And then Jess walks up, and as she does, Eric goes, oh, I'm sure you'll make an excellent dinner, Kathleen. So file that one away for later.
Yeah, damn.
Jess says she wrote her acceptance speech, and Kathleen says hers is ready too. Jess is like, what the fuck are you talking about? Your acceptance speech for what? She goes, oh, your father wants a family commercial this year. Family.
Oh.
Says soon-to-be stepmom.
Right.
So she walks away, and Eric says to Jess, he's like, oh, well, hey, only one more year until college, right? You can get the fuck away from her.
Yeah, damn.
So they are responding to this place, at least Eric is, because apparently someone has vandalized the house, the John Carver house.
Right.
And Thomas is inside it freaking out. He's apparently somebody stole an axe and spray painted Fight Mart on the wall.
Yeah.
Thomas mentions the axe a couple of times. He's like, oh yeah, come to Right Mart where we slash prices without a fucking axe.
We needed this for the commercial. God damn it.
So Thomas is all pissed off that his commercial's ruined, and he's kind of having a moment with Jess. He's like, you look relieved about all this. And she's like, yeah, I am. I'm tired of pretending that everything's okay. And Kathleen walks up, which interrupts Jess, and she walks away. She says something about, oh, we can never get a moment alone, whatever.
Right.
We cut to Ryan and Scott hanging out.
Yeah, creepy Ryan.
Creepy Ryan. He says, apparently Jess has invited him to be on the Thanksgiving float and to go to dinner with her parents. So they're now dating.
Right. Yeah, lots changed in a year. You know?
Right, yeah. Bobby disappeared, so she was like, all right, well, whatever, I'll give Ryan a try. He's persistent anyway.
Right.
So we cut back to the Capotane Diner. I Know What Boys Like plays on the jukebox. Lizzie walks out. She's serving lunch to everybody. There's a kid named Jacob that runs through the diner. He's handing out flyers for the McCarty party.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Which apparently they're charging $25 to get into.
Hey, looks like a good party when it does come about. So,
but $25? I don't know about that.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing, man. Make a quick buck off all these kids.
It's just a fucking house party. That's the thing. It's like this whole big thing. But when you get to it later, it's just a bunch of teens in the fucking living room. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
Jacob mentions what he's doing being a recession-proof business, and Evan just wants him to finish his fucking history paper. But Jess thinks she sees Bobby walk out of the door, and she gets Gabby's attention about it, and she's like, whoa, hey, would you see that? What the fuck was that? So everybody at the table at this point gets a notification that they've been tagged in a social media post, and it's just a picture of a beautiful Thanksgiving table, nicely appointed, but they're all like freaked out about it being tagged in another post, but Evan's like, ooh, it's a table, real scary.
Right.
That's about the time Ryan shows up, and before he sits down, Evan mentions that he doesn't like him. He messes with the group dynamic, he says. He's not a fan of Ryan being around.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like anybody really likes him, you know?
Right, yeah. But Jess says he hasn't ghosted her yet, so he's the front runner.
Right.
When Ryan does sit down, he tries to like buy everyone's friendship with NFL tickets for the Pats Steelers game.
Hey, what a nice guy, you know?
I fucking suppose. Those had to be expensive as fuck, man.
Oh yeah. Well, and he's being a nice guy too, you know. Everybody hates him and he shows up with NFL tickets, so he's trying, you know.
Whatever works, I guess. Lizzie walks by and Gabby tries to get her attention. She's like, "Oh, hey, we're ready to order." And Lizzie goes, "Fuck off. This isn't Right Mart. You have to actually wait your turn."
Yeah, people are salty, man.
People are what?
Salty.
Oh, salty.
Yeah.
So Jess glances outside and she notices someone standing outside in a John Carver mask staring at them. And that's about the time Lizzie comes over to take their order. And then Jess looks back outside and he's gone.
Right.
But yeah, Lizzie walks over. She's like, "You shit's ready to order?" Gabby gets a vanilla frappe with extra jimmies, whatever the fuck that means. And Evan wants garlic knots, and she looks over at him. She's like, "This isn't Papa Gino's, kid."
Oh, wow.
We cut back to the killer's lair, and he's watching the footage of the Right Mart incident again, and he pauses it on Lizzie's face.
Fuck.
We get a quick shot of him sharpening his axe, and then we're back to the diner. It's nighttime now. There's a pretty cool neon sign here. The aesthetic of this place really takes you back, like 50s, 60s style.
Oh, hell yeah.
But Lizzie turns the lights out, and she turns around and puts some glasses on, and she notices a Carver mask out of place on the counter.
Shit. It's real tense right here. You know?
Yeah.
It's super dark. They're essentially closed up, you know. She's getting ready to do her final lockup, and it's fucking creepy.
Right. She picks the mask up, and she does a little like Michael Myers head tilt with it.
Right.
And in the background, when she does this, we see the killer peeks through the kitchen window.
Yeah.
And there's some really good timing and positioning in this shot. When she starts to move, as she passes the window again, Carver disappears.
Yep.
So she walks to the back, she grabs her jacket, and then gets pushed so hard against the wall that her fucking glasses fly off.
Yeah.
And Carver steps on him immediately. He slashes at her hand with what looks like a straight razor.
Yeah. Oh, God.
And then he fucking dunks her head in the sink. Oh boy. I already don't like where this is going.
Well, it looks like he's gonna drown her or something. Right. But no.
He's got better ideas.
Yeah, it's better. So pulls her head out of the sink and opens up the freezer door and throws her face into the freezer door that's all nice and frosty.
Speaking of holidays, we get a revisit of A Christmas Story, and he fucking sticks her face to the inside of the freezer door. Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. Sick.
She struggles to get away, but her face and fingertips are like peeling off.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, it's gross.
Her skin comes off, stuck to the door.
Yeah. He turns around and picks up his axe to finish the job, but she manages to rip herself away just in time. She runs off, shuts herself in the back room, tries to unlock her phone, but there's blood all over it, so it won't swipe. And it also won't recognize her now fucked up face from the door. Oh my God, this is so good.
Hell yeah.
But here's the question. Why doesn't she use the landline phone behind her?
I literally thought that. Yeah.
She's in the manager's office.
Struggles with her cell phone and doesn't use the phone sitting right there.
Right. But she peeks back out and decides to start making her way toward her car. And when she gets out there, Carver's already in it.
Yeah. Fuck. Headlights kick on.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He starts it when she gets in front of it and drives straight at her. She jumps into a dumpster and gets...
She goes to dive into the dumpster. The dumpster lids are open. The car hits the dumpster hard enough that the lids slam and somehow cut her in half.
In what universe can the lid of a dumpster cut? Have you ever seen the lids? They're fucking thin-ass plastic.
Yeah, they're plastic.
She might have got a good spanking.
Right.
But she's not getting cut in half by this fucking thing.
Cut her in half.
Either way, it's still a good effect. It looks great. She's got intestines strung out from her bottom end as it falls out onto the car.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's pretty rough. But then we cut to the next morning where the killer has displayed her lower half on the star of the Right Mart sign. Just shoved her ass right on top of the star. Eric tells emergency personnel to cover it up, and some firemen crawl up a truck ladder to do so. Back at the school, a teacher rips a McCarty party flyer off of a column. And then Evan talks to Jacob in the hall. He's like, hey, what's with the sunglasses, bro? And Jacob's like, he had 2 essays to write. And Jacob hands over Evan's history paper, and I put that in heavy air quotes.
Right.
Jacob expects some sort of payment, obviously, and Evan's like, I'll get you next time. And Jacob's like, you said that last month. He's always just fucking, pushing him off.
Yeah, I mean, shit, if you're going to have some kid help you with your shit, at least pay him.
Yeah, dude. I know you're fucking not struggling with money with your fucking big fancy-ass SUV. Fuck off.
Right.
And Evan's like, whatever, dude. Miss Byers better eat this shit up. And Jacob's like, oh, don't worry. She couldn't have written it better herself. So as he walks away, he gets a notification and freaks out. Apparently, John Carver tagged them all again. And this time, in the image of the legs on the Right Mart sign. So Lizzie's legs hanging out up on top of the star. He takes a picture of that, posts that on social media, tags everybody in it. Jess zooms in on the previous picture and sees that all of their names are at all the place settings. So the previous picture being the one of the Thanksgiving table.
Right.
All of the place settings have little cards with their name on them.
Yeah, they all have a seat.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So we go through a little crime scene investigation here. They're peeling pieces of Lizzie's face off the fucking door.
Yeah, ugh.
And Detective Chu, who we're now officially introduced to, says they found pieces of brick where the killer broke in. And Eric asks Deputy LaBelle if he's met the detective yet. And he says, oh yeah, we met. They had that little fuck you exchange earlier.
Right.
LaBelle says that Eric's going to want to come check out the security footage. Apparently the killer is dressed like John Carver.
Yeah, that's fucked. Everybody in town has the same fucking mask, man.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Yeah. Chu says the cameras at the Right Mart saw the same guy putting Lizzie's legs on the sign.
Damn.
So something big is going on here. Jess walks out of the school while on the phone with her dad. He says he's still opening the store and she needs to get to the police station. Apparently they all need to give statements on what happened.
Right.
I don't know. A year later?
Yeah, what the fuck? What statements on just the new...
Oh, well, I don't know. Maybe that could be.
Right.
Evan's freaking out. He's like, is he waiting for us to be on display in front of his store? And Scuba tries to act all tough as the friends, discuss what to do. He says, he's like, I'm going to DM him. Come and get me.
Right.
Okay, buddy. Relax.
Tough guy.
Jess says it's a murder investigation in her dad's store. We can't just fuck around. And the boys respond, fuck around and find out, of course. Jess sees a creepy van in the back of the parking lot at that point that starts to move when she notices. And right on cue, McCarty pulls up. Gabby turns around and she's like, oh, hey, McCarty, are you back to finish the 10th grade? He says he thought they might want some protection. And it turns out McCarty, his dad owns a guns and ammo store.
Yeah, shit, yeah.
So this is the fucking guy to talk to if you're in a slasher movie.
That's what I was thinking. He might be a dick, but probably a good guy to have around.
Right. He actually isn't a dick. Really, like the exchanges with him later. McCarty is a pretty good dude. He just likes to party, I guess. I don't know. Doesn't see anything wrong with selling alcohol to underage kids.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Scuba says, he's like, you got some balls selling guns to high school kids. He's like, I'm not selling guns. I'm selling booze. But he says, sales for the party are going through the roof. You guys should come. It's the only place in town you won't get killed.
Yeah, shit, yeah. Probably not wrong.
No, probably not, dude. Once we see McCarty's place, yeah, he's absolutely not wrong. We cut to the police station and some bells are ringing in the distance. I gotta say, the fall and holiday vibes in this movie are fucking immaculate.
Oh, dude, they hit everything spot on.
Absolutely. Jess is inside talking to Chu and Eric. They want her help. And he's like, well, anyone involved in that night could be in danger. Jess blames herself. She's like, I shouldn't have let anybody in. And this is where we get the funny scuba name explanation. And
right.
he tells LaBelle his name is actually Claude. And he's like, yeah, scuba's better. The sheriff says he doesn't care what happened with the cameras last year, but he knows Jess wants to do the right thing. And he leans in while the score kind of crescendos. And he goes, this is a matter of life and death.
Yeah, very true.
More foreshadowing. Outside, Bobby is leaning against a tow truck, and he apologizes and wants to walk with Jess. He's fucking just out of nowhere. He's back in town.
Yeah, no shit. Isn't that strange?
Yeah. She's like, well, what the fuck, dude? You ghosted me. He was like, I ghosted everybody. She's like, I'm not fucking everybody. I was your girlfriend, dude. You couldn't say anything to me?
Yep, he could have said something before he dipped out.
Right.
He's an asshole.
But,
fuck you, Bobby.
Well, here's the thing. He says he blamed her, but ultimately recognizes it was his decision. He didn't have to go into the store.
Right.
He says his arm might get back to normal. The rehab's going good, so that's cool. That actually comes in handy toward the end of the movie, too. So Jess gets all serious, and she's like, well, listen, the night of the incident, Kathleen deleted all that footage. There wasn't a malfunction. She just deleted it.
Yeah, what the fuck?
And she mentions there's a backup system at her house that stores that footage for a year. And Bobby says, well, just ask your dad for it. But she's like, no, with the lawsuits and shit, he's just pretending this whole thing doesn't exist. And they get back to the police station from their walk, and Bobby sees Ryan coming up, and he's like, oh shit, don't look, I'll get rid of him. And then he's fucking shocked to find out that they're dating. Ryan walks up and puts his arm around Jess. Yeah. Ryan mentions he gave his statement, but I didn't know anyone besides Scott, so it wasn't much help. The sheriff comes out and asks to talk to Bobby in his office, and before Bobby walks away, he's like, this statue is new, I guess. Like, he doesn't know how to react to anything right now because he's just fucking flabbergasted over Ryan and Jess. And Eric's like, yep, a lot has changed since you left. Get a quick news report, still no suspects. Who will be the next victim of John Carver? And then we zoom in on the little crime board, and it's a picture of Manny, the other security guard.
Yep.
This guy's got the right idea. We cut to his house, and he's getting the fuck out of here. He's talking to his cat Dewey while he gathers his stuff and packs a bag, his passport, etc.
Oh, yeah.
He's trying to piece the fuck out.
Smartest one in the whole movie.
Right. Quick note, apparently this cat was such a good actor that Eli Roth called it Leonardo DiCaprio. That's pretty fun.
Oh, we love it.
Manny says he's going to the Dominican Republic, and he gets a call from his ride-sharing service, an Uber, whatever. That person is apparently outside, and he says, oh, I'll be right there. He walks back from the window, and his passport is missing.
Yeah, what the fuck?
We just saw him put it down on the table.
Right.
He checks his bedroom, and when he comes back out, there's a Carver mask on the couch. So now something's definitely fucking going on.
Fuck.
He grabs a bat, and he asks his cat where the killer is. He's yelling out to him. He's like, I'm a security guard. I kill people every fucking day. Trying to intimidate the guy.
Right.
So he asks the cat where the killer is, and the cat looks over to indicate where he is, apparently. But that's just a cat looking at something. He's not actually responding because Carver fucking pops up right in front of him, carves him up with a turkey carver.
Right. Oh, and then uses a razor wire to cut his head off.
Yeah, dude. He pops up right next to him, stabs him in the stomach with this meat carver, and then he's got the fucking, like a garrote or whatever. He wraps around his neck, and then he does a little spinny and turns around and pulls forward, and this dude's neck his head just pops off like a dandelion.
It's very, very clean and smooth.
Not bad. There's a really good amount of good gore and practical effects here. Apparently no CGI in this movie.
No, from what I saw.
Holy shit. Kudos, boys. Well done.
Yeah, agreed. And we don't see that very often anymore, you know?
No.
I really appreciate that.
It's cheaper not to, unfortunately. Carver puts his head in a duffel bag. He goes to leave, but then he thinks on it for a second, and he goes back to feed the kitty.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
So we cut back to Jess. She's in bed, about to go to sleep for the night. She calls Bobby, and then Ryan. Neither answer, and then she kisses a bracelet and says, "Good night, Mom." We cut to a scene of Carver continuing to set his table. He places Manny's head on his plate, And we also see that Lizzie's upper half is sitting at the table across from him.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Jess wakes up to a notification with a new picture of the table, updated now.
Yeah, fuck.
We get a new crime scene investigation. They mention the killer's powering his phone off and uploading the pictures from a different location so they can't track him. One piece of physical evidence leads them to Cordage Park, apparently, and they set up a search for the area. Jess is finally reviewing the security footage from that night, and Ryan pulls up in front of her house, sees Bobby parked in the driveway, and then he starts to look suspicious, and he's like, no fucking way, here we go. Like, we're painting it as if Ryan might be the killer.
Right.
Jess finds a scene of Ryan and Scott meeting with Doug, the other security guard, when before Ryan said he didn't know anybody, he's looking awfully chummy with this security guard on camera.
Right. Very suspicious.
Right. So Thomas busts in on Jess while she's reviewing that footage, and she prints off a picture and kind of uses that as her excuse. She was like, oh, hey, Dad, I was just using your printer. No big deal.
Yeah. She's pretty sneaky, too.
Right.
Surprised. Dad was looking kind of suspicious in some of this, too.
In certain parts, for sure.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to tell who's the bad guy here.
Right. Intentionally so. But Thomas takes the opportunity to sincerely apologize for everything that's been going on with their relationship since he got together with Kathleen. So good. He's not a complete piece of shit. That's good. That's good news.
Right.
Like I said, I think I can safely say this is the first movie I like Rick Hoffman in, or the one that I like him in the most, I guess.
Right.
He seems like he genuinely wants to do the right thing. Sometimes a little misguided, maybe, but,
Mm-hmm.
He says, after Jess's mom died, all he could do to survive was work. That's all he knew. And then he met Kathleen, and it made him feel alive again, made him willing to overlook all the flaws, and it might have just been at Jess's expense.
Right.
She hugs him and leaves. It's a nice little moment between the two of them.
How touching.
Outside, Bobby asks if she found anything, and she's like, well, yeah, but let's just fucking get out of here first. At the police station, she tells them that she knows a kid named Lionel, who's always the turkey in the parade. Really? Always? This child is always the turkey?
Just always been the turkey.
He was born to be the turkey. Bobby points out Lonnie. He recognized him from Evan punching him. And Jess says he's the one that started the riot. He had the bullhorn.
Mm-hmm.
And Bobby says that his girlfriend next to him is probably a cheerleader. And the sheriff's like, thanks, Bobby. That helps a lot. Appreciate it. Before they leave, Jess has one more trick up her sleeve. She pulls out one more picture, and it's the one of Ryan that she printed off from home.
Yep.
Both the others are surprised to see it, apparently, and surprised that she offered the information, like, oh, you're giving up your boyfriend, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So you can kind of tell the sheriff is baiting Jess. He says Ryan didn't mention that in his statement that he knew Doug. Like, oh, that looks awfully suspicious.
Yeah.
Before they leave, he tells them to be careful who they trust, and Bobby goes, well, I'll take care of Ryan tonight. Like, dude, you're sitting in front of a cop. Shut the fuck up.
So everybody's looking sketch.
Right. Back at the school, a sad kid reads his essay in class. This is such a ridiculous little scene. This kid's reading his essay, and he's like, that's why I won't be celebrating Thanksgiving this year or any year. And he slams his paper onto his desk. And there's a couple girls next to him that are, like, consoling him. And then he lifts his fucking shirt to wipe up his eyes, and this dude is just jacked. Like, all right, fucking Calvin Klein underwear model, calm the fuck down, put your shirt down.
It's got like a 12-pack.
12-pack. Fucking 18-pack on this kid. Evan is next to read his essay, and Jacob kind of gives a glance over at him. And as soon as he reads the title, so does the teacher. And it turns out Jacob copied her blog and gave it to Evan to read in class.
Yeah, got
That's
back at him.
Up, dude.
Little fucker.
Yeah, Jacob gives him a little wink. The teacher's pissed. In the hall, Evan says, I'm going to kill that little asswipe. And then Scuba says, oh, don't worry about it, dude. You'll probably be killed before you get sued for plagiarism. Gabby's like, don't joke about that. And Scuba's like, yeah, you're right. Plagiarism's serious. So the kids get together for another little powwow in the beauty salon of this high school.
Yeah,
like,
dude, it looks like it's probably
just like a career center type high school, maybe.
Vocational kind of whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Jess said that she hasn't talked to Ryan in 2 days. Yulia says, no, it can't be Ryan. He's too nice. Yeah, okay.
Right.
Gabby says the nicest guys are always the most psycho. They're just better at hiding it. Not wrong, necessarily.
Right. Yeah, no.
Jess says she feels like she can't trust anybody. And Evan says, well, us is all we got right now. And he's excluding Bobby from the group. He doesn't trust Bobby anymore.
Right.
So Jess tells him, no, Bobby would never. He's doing great. And Scuba corrects her. He's like, well, you told us he was doing great. That doesn't necessarily necessarily mean he is.
Yeah, don't mean shit.
Yulia has an idea and says it must be Mitch. His wife died. He's obsessed with the store, and he hates all of us.
Yeah, Mitch looked super sketch, man.
Honestly, he probably looked like the most likely candidate.
Right.
If I'm guessing there. Scuba says he's up to his eyeballs in motive, and he drives a van. The preferred
Obviously.
preferred vehicle for kidnappers, rapists, murderers. So Evan gets wild here, and he says, the coach says the best defense is a good offense. So let's just go fuck them up one by one. Why? Who? Why?
Start kicking everybody's ass.
Dude? Gabby grabs his face, and she's like, babe, this is not a game, and these are not kids from Hanover. Jess says they should just let the police handle it, and he says, well, if we do that, we'll all end up 50% off.
Yeah, everybody's going to be dead first.
Right? Jess gets a call from Ryan, but she ignores it. Cut to him standing in the shadows, dressed as a pilgrim. Uh-oh. Red herring number 17. He walks out and over to the Mayflower Parade float and runs into Bobby. And he's like, oh, hey, forgotten, but not gone. I like the little reversal of that line.
Right.
He's like, look, if you weren't leaving in a few days, I'd knock your teeth out. And Bobby's like, who says I'm leaving?
Oh, shit.
God, here we fucking go.
It's always over a girl, man.
Always. It's exhausting. We cut to the Hanover High School gym, where Lonnie is coaching kids in some strength training, and he sounds like fucking Matt Damon from The Departed.
Yeah.
His cheerleader girlfriend, who I think that was Amy was her name, calls him outside through the door, and he puts somebody named Neil in charge and goes out with her. She leads him through the hall to a back room somewhere, and he's like, hey, where the fuck are we going? Coach has strict orders, no sex. She's like, no sex, just a little tease, and sits him down on the floor of the stage. She turns on a light, and there's a trampoline set up in the middle of the floor.
Nice.
So she starts jumping on it. She does some splits while he watches. There's some great lighting in this scene, showing her shadow bouncing on the floor in front of him.
Oh, yeah.
She asks if he's ready, and she starts to take her underwear off. I love how the stage is set up for a little Mayflower play or some shit. There's like a ship on there and a little coastal setting.
Yeah, hell yeah.
She keeps jumping. She takes her underwear all the way off, and this whole time her back has been facing Lonnie.
Right.
And when she gets him all the way off, Carver walks up and twists Lonnie's head around completely, fucking facing backwards.
Turned his head all the way around.
Yeah.
Pretty easily, too.
Yeah. She keeps jumping, and she's about to take her top off when a blade sticks up through the bottom of the trampoline and cuts her through the heel, splitting it in half.
Ouch.
Fuck, man.
God.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah, she gets her foot, her hand, I think her chest.
Yeah,
even.
her stomach a little bit. She ends up getting it all over the place. Huge shout out to Adrienne Moreau for the practical effects in this movie. Everything looks super fucking good.
Oh, hell yeah.
So she continues to bounce and gets stabbed repeatedly. It's such a great kill. There's like one final wound to her midsection that seals the deal, and she spits up a bunch of blood. And we cut to the football team being told the game is canceled. And Evan is super pissed. He says he's going to go play with himself, or by himself. All of a sudden a gun goes off, and we think maybe it's the sheriff firing in the air again like he did in the store, but no. This fucking McCarty standing in the back of a pickup truck, firing off a fucking pirate gun, and he yells, "Blunderbuss!"
Yeah. He's like, it's fine. It's just gunpowder.
Right.
There's no bullet.
Yeah. His dad calls him an idiot and tells him to get the fuck in the truck. Jess takes that opportunity to give us a little important exposition for later and explains that she hates those things, blunderbusses or muskets or whatever the fuck ever, because she did a commercial with her dad and he made her learn how to pack it. And you might want to file that one away for later,
So it's
too.
pretty sweet.
Yeah. Before they leave, the sheriff tells them to stay together, or at least in pairs.
Yeah, stay in pairs.
Stay in pairs, everybody. But directly after the sheriff tells them to stay in pairs,
immediately
they split right the fuck up.
Yeah.
Jess is hanging out in the front of the school while Evan and Gabby go off down the hall. Not entirely sure what they're going down there to do. But Jess... But Jess is sitting by herself on the stairs. There are cops like right outside the front door, but she's waiting for a minute. Eventually she gets fed up and she texts Gabby to ask if they're ready to go. But we cut to Evan and Gabby walking down the hall. Evan points out that there's a cart in the middle of the hallway, and he goes, well, that's weird. And then he gets fucking chloroformed by Carver.
Yeah, he gets nabbed.
So Evan and Gabby done got.
Yep.
Jess gets a message from Gabby that says, hey, can you come here?
Yeah, what the fuck?
And
because we just saw him get fucking taken.
Exactly, yeah. She does a little double take at the cops before heading down the hall. She calls out to Gabby, but no answer, obviously. She turns a corner, and there's a cool shot of the hallway with the police lights flashing through it, and I like that a lot.
Yeah.
She ends up stumbling upon the same cart, and she sees that Gabby's phone is in the middle of it.
Right.
It's empty otherwise, but she picks it up and luckily sees Carver's reflection in it behind her and ducks just in time to get out of the way of his axe swing.
Yeah, damn. Clever.
Yeah, definitely. So we get a Scooby-Doo chase for a little while through the school hallways here, and then Carver seems to lose Jess. He turns around to double back on himself and does some pretty good physical acting here. He kind of swings his axe and strolls along menacingly.
Yeah.
He comes into a room, and it's the beauty parlor room we saw earlier at this fancy-ass high school.
Yeah, a little hair salon.
He turns the lights on, and we see a bunch of fake heads all over the place for the students to practice on. Just everywhere in the room.
Yeah, wigs.
And of course, we discover that Jess is pretending to be one of these heads. And Carver like swings his axe around for a bit, and Jess's eyes get all wide. Pretty soon he'll be able to fucking find her by the smell of her shit in her pants.
Oh, yeah.
But I like the fact that we get a little ninja head covering on Carver. Like it covers his neck and the back of his head and everything, so and his ears and everything, so we can't tell who it is.
Right.
It's just straight black, and I imagine like it just shows his eyes on the front.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But she doesn't react physically otherwise, and he moves on. She starts to reach for a pair of scissors on the counter, but of course knocks over a fucking can of hairspray, and then Carver whips around. He raises his axe up like he's about to take a swing. She pops up and sprays hairspray all over his face. Oh no, now the plastic mask is all sticky. Kind of wish they had done something with that, like maybe some pieces of hair stuck to it all over the place or something.
Yeah, the hairspray does the trick, man. She gets away here.
Yeah.
Fucking lucky.
Carver takes a couple of wild swings, but it does nothing. She runs down the hall, starts asking for help. Back outside, the sheriff questions Jess about what the killer looked like, and she was like, well, he was dressed up like a pilgrim, had the John Carver mask on. Other than that, I don't really have much for you. I only saw him for a second.
Mm-hmm.
And he points out to her, well, think about all the details, all the little mistakes. That's how they always get caught. And they get done talking, and Bobby runs up. Scuba and Yulia are hanging out there, too. Bobby gives Jess his jacket, and then Ryan comes up. The cops do a pretty shitty job holding him back right here. He's like, it's my girlfriend, pushes through him.
Right.
But he walks up to give Jess a hug and hilariously immediately tosses Bobby's jacket off of her and onto the ground. Dick.
Hell yeah.
Bobby questions Ryan about knowing the other security guard. He's like, dude, I was just getting drugs from him, you dumbass.
Yeah. Adderalls. You ever heard of them?
Yeah.
That's how us smart kids get our papers done. Yeah, he's a douche here.
He goes, that's what us smart guys do to get into Ivy League schools so guys like you can tow our Porsches.
Yeah. Motherfucker.
Right. So they get into a little scuffle. The sheriff separates them and he says, no, you both stay away from the parade tomorrow. If I see either one of you there, I'm going to haul you in.
Yeah.
Jess freaks out on him, tells him to stop fighting. She's like, my friends could be dead and you guys can't put your bullshit aside. Sweetheart, their bullshit that they can't put aside is you.
Right. It's all your fault.
And then all of a sudden, Yulia's crazy Russian mob boss dad shows up to collect her. Like, what the fuck? He says they're moving to Florida.
Yeah, hell yeah. Get your kid, get the hell out of here.
Hide your kids, hide your wife. Jess goes, is he for real? Are they really going to Florida? And Scuba's like, hey man, that's about as much as conversation about as I've ever had with the guy.
Right.
So
I'm going to go ahead and say yes.
Right.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, he seems pretty serious about everything, always. But Scuba's like, look, dude, the police ain't doing shit. Let's take matters into our own hands. And we cut to the McCarty party.
The McCarty party.
There's this big guy on the porch, like, throwing up off of it immediately when they walk up. McCarty tells Jacob to get the guy a t-shirt, and it's a fucking consolation prize for getting trashed, I guess.
Party's wild.
Right. This group of 4 kids walks up, and they ask McCarty how the party is. They're like, hey man, we don't want to pay $25 to get into a shitty party, so like, what's the action in here, you know?
Right.
And McCarty goes into this rant about things being better than you expect. And he was like, well, take Black Sabbath, for instance. When they fired Ozzy, you would have thought it was all over. Right. But then here comes Ronnie James Dio, this little magical evil elf.
Right.
And everything goes wild. And the fucking kid, like the leader kid of the group, he's like, who's Black Sabbath?
Yeah, get the fuck out of here, kid.
McCarty fucking loses it on him, dude. He calls him a cocksucker. Cocksucker, for all of us speaking English. About this time, Scuba and Jess walk up, and McCarty immediately knows something's up. and he tells Jacob to get VIP ready upstairs. They walk past a bunch of awkward teens doing a fucking beer bong that looks like an octopus. The fucking tubes going everywhere.
Oh, yeah, it's like a 4 or an 8 person.
Yeah.
Shit, yeah.
Upstairs, they walk through a room with a bunch of just straight up children in it. They're kids. They're children. Like under the age of 15.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck was going on.
Well, McCarty says the one kid's been there for 2 days. He drank too much White Zinfandel. So they get to McCarty's room. He calls it the Death Star, by the way. And Jacob, he tells Jacob VIP is closed and puts him on door patrol. And tiny little Jacob puffs up his chest all big. Like that's going to do anything. And I can't believe this next shit, man. McCarty walks up holding a fucking Desperado guitar case full of guns.
Right.
3 handguns specifically, and a couple of them look like Desert Eagles.
Yeah, it's badass.
Scuba grabs one, and Jess is like, Jesus Christ, man, you grabbed the biggest gun possible? And McCarty kind of agrees. He's like, yeah, that's for taking down grizzly bears in the Alaskan wilderness or zombies in the apocalypse. So Scuba puts it back. The show gets even more ridiculous as McCarty opens up the front of his stereo to another gun compartment, a fucking 44 Magnum revolver in there.
Right. Oh, it just continues to go on.
Yeah, dude.
Under his headboard.
Yeah, he opens up that one like, hey, man, a lot of people don't know this, but you can put your weed in there.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy as shit.
Scuba asks him if he's got any human-sized guns, and he ends up giving him a SIG 226 9mm. Not bad.
Yeah.
He tells him to keep the safety on unless he wants to blow his nuts off. That's important for later. McCarty asks what Jess's experience is, and she's like, oh, I shot a musket once and it almost killed me. He says, yeah, those things are fucked, huh? But he pulls out this little belt knife instead, but she doesn't even want that. She's like, well, I'll be with Scuba, and he'll be armed. Hey, that whole staying in Paris thing didn't work out so well last time.
Right.
Might want to take something. But McCarty wishes him luck, tells him to stay alive long enough to return my gun. And Scuba and Jess drive over to Yulia's, and on the way they FaceTime her. She's like, Scuba, what the fuck are you doing with a gun? You've never even seen one. She's packing to go to Florida. Downstairs, Yulia's dad walks up to the cop that they have watching the place, apparently. And he gives him this giant tinfoil container of something, and he's like, eat it, we're going to Florida. The cop opens it, and it's just a bunch of corn to stay on the Thanksgiving theme. That's
right.
Cool. So the cop grabs an ear of corn, and he asks when the remodel of their fucking palatial estate is going to be done. I don't really think they give a shit, dude. They're going to Florida.
Right.
Speaking of not giving a shit, neither does Carver. He walks up, and I think shoots the cop with a tranq dart.
Yeah.
So he doesn't kill him, he just kind of puts him down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And the corn cob falls and rolls over to Carver, and he stops it with his foot. It's got a cute little smiley face skewer on the end of it, and little corn sticks, little stabby guys.
Shit, yeah.
We cut back to Yulia. She's putting in some contacts. Uh-oh, do we have some more signature Cinebytes eye trauma coming up? She hears something in the hall that interrupts her, and she calls out to her dad. I just want to point out real quick, this house is fucking incredible. I love these glass barriers around the staircase.
Oh, yeah, dude, they're rich as hell.
Oh, yeah, that's badass. She keeps calling out to her dad, getting a little more spooked with each one. And he fucking turns a corner and jump scares her. And we see that the reason he wasn't answering was because he's got some big-ass headphones on.
Right.
Also carrying a box. He's yelling at her. He's like, finish up, the car's on its way. The song playing over his headphones, by the way, is the Tsar's Bride Overture by Nikolai Rimsky-Korsakov.
Huh.
Of course, the Russian guy's listening to classical music.
Right.
So he goes downstairs to discover the unconscious cop on the floor right in front of the front door, and he yells out to Yulia, but he gets darted too.
Yeah, fuck.
Meanwhile, Yulia gets another call. It's Scuba again. She tells him her dad is freaking out, and they have to go in like 5 minutes. We get some odd close-ups of her cleaning her ears. Wonder why they tossed that in.
God.
She bends over to toss the Q-tip in the trash, and when she sits back up, Carver is behind her and shoves the fucking corn skewers in her ears.
Ooh.
Oh, God.
Ouch.
I do like the cute little smiley faces on him, though. Carver picks up the phone and points it at Yulia for a minute and then turns it around and waves while Scuba and Jess kind of react to that.
Yeah, damn, all on video call.
Oh, yeah. They start racing through traffic, running red lights and shit. Yulia pulls the corn sticks out of her ears, and then we get a really cool moment with the sound design here where we, the audience, are put in the position of Yulia. There's like a sharp ringing that starts, and all of a sudden, all the sounds of contact with her like feet on the floor and things like that are all muffled. It's a really great choice.
Yeah, very cool.
So she's crawling away, and Carver slowly and calmly walks up behind her. I like the pilgrim look for the killer a lot. Carver picks her up by the hair just as Scuba and Jess arrive. They try to run into the front door, but they can barely open it because the body of Yulia's dad's fucking blocking it.
Right.
That's strategic planning on Carver's part. That's a hell of a move. Good job.
Yeah, he's planned all this shit out, man.
It turns out it's not that difficult to get past. They push past it. They follow Yulia's voice, and they find her being held by Carver. He's got a knife to her throat, and he's holding up a phone of a live stream he's got going with Gabby tied up in a chair on it.
Oh, fuck, yeah.
So the camera turns to Evan. Here's a question. Who's the one turning said camera? Does this mean he's got an accomplice?
Ooh, yeah, I don't know.
Why did that camera turn?
Yeah, fuck.
So this whole time they're just yelling at Carver to let her go, and Carver's backing up with her towards something, and Scuba tries to fire the gun, but the safety is on. Of course.
Didn't want to blow his dick off, though, so...
Yeah, I guess. That's a good move. Carver steps on a foot switch and activates a fucking table saw next to them and tosses Yulia onto it.
Yeah, holy shit.
And
it's kind of crazy because it starts off with her hand.
Yeah, she lands on it.
Kind of pulls her in, kind of?
Sort of, yeah. I like when she lands on it, like you said, it cuts off a few of her fingers first, and then she slips, and her entire midsection goes down onto it. Dude, there's a great blood spray all over the plastic sheeting hanging up. That was a great choice.
Fuck yeah.
All over Scuba. Not so much Jess. Mostly Scuba. She doesn't really get much on her.
Her guts are all over the place.
Dude, Yuli is just writhing around on top of this thing for a minute before Scuba pulls her off and the saw stops. She is all fucked up. Intestines just hanging out all over. She's a mess. The practical effects and the dead acting here are really good.
Yeah. Yeah, it was great.
Scuba might actually be an even bigger mess because he just starts asking Jess, what do I do?
Right.
Like, homie, you don't do anything.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do.
There's nothing to be done.
Yeah.
We cut to a team/town/family meeting, deciding what their next steps are. Scuba and Jess are there. The sheriff is there. Thomas Wright, the mayor, Kathleen, Deputy LaBelle, whole bunch of people. Thomas starts off by saying, well, I think we're all in agreement. We're not doing the parade this year. And the mayor agrees with him, and so does Kathleen. She says it's too dangerous. And Jess is like, well, what about Gabby and Evan? Isn't it fucking dangerous for them?
Right.
She says, the parade is our big shot. You see me struggling and wake me up. We both come out. You whack the fucker, and we got him. Oh, shit. Did I just go to the wrong movie? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, Scuba is with Jess. He's like, no, let's get his ass. That's a good idea. Kathleen's freaking out a little bit. She says she doesn't want to be involved any further. Welp, about that. She tries to blame Jess for having gone into the store to start this whole thing, and Jess fires back, well, if you hadn't wanted to open the store, it wouldn't have happened.
Oh, shit.
The girls are fighting. Thomas comes in and nips that shit in the bud, and he's like, look, fuckers, it's nobody's fault. I'm closing the store this Thanksgiving. It's a holiday even for us. And Kathleen speaks up, but he's like, no, I've decided. And that was the moment where I was like, hell yeah, Thomas.
Right.
My dude.
Yeah, putting my foot down.
Way to go. Jess asks the sheriff if there's a way they can set a trap. And I don't really understand his plan that he lays out here. I think he was just firing off the cuff. He says, when the float returns to the warehouse, we can make it look like it's empty. First of all, the float or the warehouse? I think he's talking about the warehouse, but
oh yeah.
Either way, he says the killer will think he has an opportunity to strike, and LaBelle's like, well, if he takes the bait, it'll be all over, and Kathleen says, whoa, hold up, what the fuck you mean bait?
Right.
No thank you, I don't want to be bait.
Yeah, that doesn't feel good.
Thomas says, well, if we don't finish this now, we'll be bait no matter where we go. And Jess is right. Fucking Thomas Wright for president, dude.
Right.
Sheriff signs off by saying, tomorrow John Carver is going to go down. But for now, I got to study. I mean, if you think about it, he's right. John Carver is going down.
John Carver.
So we cut to the parade. Finally. Fucking parade. Which, is it me or parade's kind of weird?
I'm not a fan. That's just me. I could do
without.
without.
It's another people to wave at. Okay. We got a band outside warming up, sounding like absolute dog shit. Lionel is getting suited up in his turkey costume. He's dancing around. We get a quick shot of Mitch in an alley putting on a John Carver mask and a hat.
Sketch.
What do we have here? Yeah, he looks awfully suspicious. Obviously another red herring. He looks nothing like the real Carver at all. There's a shot of a shitty warehouse that has a sign out front that says Central Plymouth Parade Committee Temporary Staging Facility. So this is where we're doing all the parade shit. We're getting
Right.
all the floats ready. This is where everybody is getting geared up.
This is that warehouse.
Mhm.
Ah, okay.
So we cut to Jess getting ready. She's in her pilgrim outfit with these weird collars. Why do they all have these fucking lobster bib things on them, dude? They're like you're getting a haircut and they tuck in that little piece of wax paper into your shirt, you know?
Yeah.
All of them have that. As she's sitting there, she's getting notifications from both Ryan and Bobby. This stupid love triangle drama they have going on, I couldn't care less about, personally.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, for sure.
Eric is directing cops to different areas, and he gives Thomas instructions while he's at it. He says, when you get back, the place is going to look like it's empty, but it's going to be crawling with officers. And Scuba and Jess are getting ready to climb up on the float. Scuba asks if she's ready. She says no. He's like, well, me neither. Let's fucking do it anyway. McCarty walks up behind her all of a sudden and gives her a ring before she gets on board the Mayflower. And he goes, this is my dad's ring from Iraq. He said it kept him alive. Wear it for good luck. He backs up and his dad gives him a pat on the shoulder. So it was kind of interesting that his dad was standing there as he gave him the ring. I don't know why, like if it was his idea, why didn't he just give it to her, kind of a thing?
It felt suspicious again.
It was
all
a little
this
weird.
Oh yeah, all this shit seems very strange. Like, who in the fuck is the killer?
All right, I didn't get suspicious vibes from this. This was just another moment where I was like, all right, McCarty's good people.
I just thought it was fucking weird.
Right.
Anybody acting weird right now is suspicious, Dusty.
Well, perfect, because it's fucking parade time. Yeah, I'm not sure I understand parades. I guess they're fun. I don't know. I just feel like it's a weird, like some sort of weird 1940s shit when we didn't have real entertainment and it just kind of hung around. You know? Like, yeah, let's watch people walk by.
Sorry to anybody that does
Wave at the horse, kids.
appreciate. It's okay.
Oh, it's absolutely okay to enjoy a parade, for sure, 1,000%. And it's going pretty well for a while. We've got marching bands, we got Lionel the Turkey, we got the mayor driving by. My favorite is McCarty's float, though.
Oh, shit, yeah.
He's standing on this fucking, like, this... He's shredding on a fucking guitar, and there's just a big-ass rock that has a sign on it that says Plymouth Rocks.
Yeah.
Get it? Get it?
Sick, dude.
But it's actually a Plymouth Guns and Ammo float. McCarty's on it. There's some fucking rock music playing. He's fucking shredding on his guitar. It's hilarious.
Kick ass.
And right behind that, we have the Wright Mart Mayflower.
Yeah.
Jess is seeing Carvers all over the place, obviously. Then she shoots her head in another direction because people are screaming, obviously. It's a parade, after all. There's cops everywhere. There's Carvers everywhere. We see Mitch walking his way up to the front of the crowd, and suddenly everything comes to a screeching halt as he runs out in the road holding a sign that says, Thanksgiving, not thanks buying. And all of a sudden, the Mayflower float stops completely as a bunch of people join in this Wright Mart protest.
Right. Big whoop.
There's a couple of little girls in the cab of the truck pulling the float, and they ask their grandpa what's going on, so we got Grandpa driving here.
Right.
I love this dude that's just juggling pins, and he tries to lean over to get a better look at what's going on, but he never stops fucking juggling.
Yeah, he's good, man.
It's so good, dude.
Never been able to juggle.
No, neither have I. Cops get the protesters out of the way, and the parade starts moving again. Lionel's waddling around yelling Happy Thanksgiving at everybody when somebody in a gnarly evil clown costume walks up and lops his fucking head off with the axe.
Yeah, holy shit.
Wow.
Talk about like out of nowhere.
Oh, dude,
you know?
yeah, absolutely. There's a great shot of Lionel's head inside the turkey head.
Right.
But it looks so silly sitting on the street, like this smiling turkey face. Everyone starts screaming and running. There's great blood spray coming out of Lionel's neck hole here.
Oh, yeah.
Suddenly, there's smoke grenades flying out from everywhere. There's a pretty epic shot of the big turkey float in the smoke. That looks pretty fun.
Looks crazy.
And some Braveheart shit going on. There's a guy on stilts that walks out in front of the truck pulling the Mayflower, which causes Grandpa to slam on the brakes, which dislodges the boat on the float, and it slides forward, causing the bowsprit, I think it's called, the little pointy log on the front of a ship. You know? That thing crashes through the back window of the truck and through Grandpa's fucking head just right, exactly through his face. Like, it's basically the opposite of the tree branch face impalement in Green Inferno.
Right.
So, Eli Roth's no stranger here. But yeah, dude, super sweet
like
effects.
A fucking watermelon.
Yeah. So everybody falls off the ship. The best shot in the movie are these two little girls getting doused in their grandpa's blood in the truck. And they're just screaming. And they don't know, like, I don't know if they can't get out or what, but oh my God, it's hilarious. There's a cop trying to wrangle our main protagonist group into an SUV, and they all get in, but the cop doesn't manage to. He gets trank darted as well. And now, importantly, we should note here that they're in a cop car, meaning the back doors aren't going to open from the inside.
Right.
So when this cop gets darted, they can't get out unless they climb through the front. Meanwhile, the clown that shot the cop takes another couple steps forward, and he tosses a fucking flashbang into the truck. They all cover their ears, and the clown leans in and darts the rest of them. Kathleen, Thomas, Jess, and Scuba. Bam, 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 bam.
Shit.
So the clown gets in the car and drives them away. We cut away from the chaos to a pleasant little scene where someone appears to be preparing dinner.
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
There's some nice music playing on the radio. I think this is The House is Haunted by Mel Torme. And Kathleen wakes up laying on a table to John Carver standing over a stove.
Yeah. Almost.
Or I guess I should say the Carver.
Getting a little brine ready, you know?
Carver turns around with a bowl and a brush, and Kathleen pretends to be asleep again. So now here we go. Eli Roth's got to get a shot in for his buddy Quentin. Close up on Kathleen's feet as he starts basting her. And it drags it up her leg and across her face, starts to season her with some sea salt and a little pepper grinder and a little garnish on there. It looks like she's going to be delicious.
Yeah, I think so.
I love the sprig of parsley on her forehead, and that's my favorite. The table she's on is dressed very nicely as well. She's surrounded by carrots and potatoes and onions.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like it's going to be real good. Carver walks away and turns on a huge oven, and he sets a mask on top of it, and it starts to melt. The burned mask looks pretty cool. It's got like Halloween Kills Ends vibes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think it's pretty cool. Yeah. Essentially just the mask sitting on top of the oven for a minute kind of warps the side. Yeah, it's badass.
Yeah, for sure. Carver admires his new look in a mirror for a second, and he adjusts his capotane a little. It's got to smell terrible in that fucking mask now, right?
A little melty.
Melted plastic. Eek. So anyway, he walks back and Kathleen is now gone. He immediately grabs a pitchfork and starts hunting. She's behind like some burlap sacks on a shelf hiding, and he walks over to the shelf to stab it, but she slips away. And in her new hiding spot, she gets scared by Lonnie's body falling out toward her.
Yeah, shit, dude.
He looks to be getting pretty close to her, but a timer goes off, so he goes to check on it. She takes the opportunity to move again and slips out from behind a door. This is a really tense scene, and she's doing a hell of a job eluding him.
Right.
She's like right next to him the whole time. I'm almost sad she has to get got, dude. She's doing really good here.
Right.
But she slips upstairs behind him, and she runs down the hall and into a room where she sees an array of electronic equipment, cameras, monitors, John Carver masks. The clown costume is there. There's a nasty-ass mattress on the floor. Pizza boxes piled up. This place is fucking gross.
Right. Yeah, she found his little headquarters set up, you know.
Yeah. She walks over and starts trying to get the planks off the windows to escape, and she grabs a can opener from the fridge to help, like, pry them off. And the fridge opens to reveal the body of Amy the cheerleader inside, which she freaks out at, but she decides to grab the wine bottle sitting next to it. She reaches for it, and the body comes to life and grabs her. How in the fuck is that girl still alive?
Yeah, she's fucking alive and coherent.
Dude, no. There's absolutely no way. She got all diced up on that trampoline, and now she's been in a big-ass bag in the fridge for God knows how long.
Right.
There's no way, man. Her lifeless eyes were open before Kathleen reached in. This is nonsense.
Yeah, it's weird.
Anyway, Kathleen grabs the wine bottle and tells her to be quiet. And then Kathleen commits a horror movie sin right here and says she'll be right back.
Right. Yeah. I didn't think about that.
She hides around the corner as Carver busts in like Jason. And conveniently, Kathleen left a trail of bloody footprints for Carver to follow, but they end under a table. So Carver looks around the room, and it's revealed that Kathleen has somehow snuck back around and is just waiting to bash him with the wine bottle on the other side of the wall. She watches the tines on the pitchfork slowly creep into the room, but then retreat, and Carver exits. Or does he?
Yeah.
Because just as she goes to take a look, the pitchfork smashes through the wall right next to her face, and she runs off screaming. I feel like if she had maybe stayed quiet right there
probably
and
been
not revealed her position, she might have been okay.
Right.
But just as she opens the front door to run away, Carver throws a pitchfork like a fucking javelin straight into her back, and she goes down.
Yeah, fuck, man.
He drags her back into the house screaming, and then we cut to Kathleen now inside the oven as it fires to life.
I like the camera view here.
Yeah.
You know, you get a camera view pointing at her, and then you get a POV, almost like looking out of that little window out of the oven.
Yeah, it's great. She begs him to let her out, and he opens the oven door, but only to jab a meat thermometer into her arm and close it back up again.
Yeah, fuck, man.
What a way to go, dude. I imagine the hair and fingernails melting might ruin the dish. It can't smell great anyway.
Not at first, no.
Not to mention the fabric. We see the light leave Kathleen's eyes just before the thermometer pops up. Dinner is served. Carver grabs a fresh mask, so what was the point of fucking melting the other one?
Oh, I didn't think it was on purpose.
No?
I think he sat it down and
Okay.
oven was a little warm.
Oh, well, fair enough. I thought it was very intentional because, like, he set it on there and turned the oven on and kind of, like, I don't know. It seemed incredibly intentional to me. Maybe it was just smelly. He couldn't take the smell anymore. He was like, I need a new one. We cut to another news report. Apparently, the people of Plymouth are gathered outside the police station. Cops inside are trying to whittle down who the killer might be, and due to the use of smoke bombs and flash grenades, they think that whoever the person is might be ex-military.
Right.
Detective Chu says he has something. Apparently, Carver is live streaming from somewhere in Cordage Park. And the image on the screen is the table Carver has been setting this entire time. We've got Manny, Lizzie, Lonnie, the cheerleader, Scuba, Gabby, Evan, Thomas, and Jess are all seated at it, and there's something covered with a big cloth in the center.
Damn, whole family's here.
Yep. Police and SWAT are mobilized, and they converge on the park. So this is Cordage Park, where the Carver house has been this whole time. It's been his staging ground, and the cops drive right past it on their way to wherever this live stream location is coming from.
Right.
LaBelle gets out when they arrive at that spot, and he's talking to Chu on the radio, and he's like, there's nothing here, just an empty fucking parking lot. And LaBelle asks Chu if there are tunnels below them.
Oh, yeah.
So we cut back to Jess coming back to consciousness at the table, and everyone is tied up to their chairs and gagged. Thomas is trying to reassure her everything's going to be okay. Outside, the SWAT opens up a weird, like, shipping container entrance to a building, and they go down into some tunnels, and these guys are fucking killing me with all their super cool SWAT lingo, dude. Like, these guys cannot stop saying shit like, watch my six, and copy that, and stay frosty, you know. Fuck out of here. One of the officers says they're closing in on the signal, and we get faked out a little because they try to open a door with a battering ram, and Jess reacts to a slam she hears, but that slam is Carver entering the room.
Right.
So they're in a not quite this location, at least. And SWAT is super confused because what they discover is a live stream of a live stream.
Yeah, it's got a monitor and a feed in there, and
damn, dude, got him.
Trick.
So there's a cell phone pointed at a monitor that has the actual live feed of the table, which means the cops are in the wrong place.
Yep.
The mayor is hanging out with Chu, looking like he's had about enough of fucking all of this. And back at the dinner table, Carver starts to speak up with a voice changer. I didn't know how I felt about it at first, but I think I kind of like it. Eventually, he had to give us our denouement, you know? Like, he's got to talk. It would suck to not. But he goes, gather around the table, everyone. I'm like 98% sure this is the voice of Eli Roth.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is.
I didn't see that confirmed anywhere, but I didn't dig too deep, I guess. But he goes, dinner is served, and he pulls the cloth off of the now completely cooked Kathleen. Dude, this is so messed up. He's got her legs all tied together like a turkey. He's got the little paper caps on her toes, and her arms are positioned to look like wings. It's fucking brutal, dude.
Fucking head's cut off.
Yeah. Her skin looks crispy.
Yeah. Fucking Thomas throws up.
Yeah, everyone starts freaking out. He throws up behind his gag when Carver pulls the cloth off of her head.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And he goes, now is that any way to thank Kathleen? She has been cooking all day. He grabs a corkscrew from the table and he goes, let's start off the dinner with a cheer. And he stabs it into the cheerleader's neck. And it makes a hilarious uncorking sound when he pulls it out. Like,
yeah.
He takes a glass and he holds it up to collect the blood running from her neck. Aren't post-mortem wounds not supposed to bleed? Isn't that a thing? I feel like that's a
I think if they get embalmed, I don't know. That's why he kept her in the fridge.
Yeah, I guess so.
Let the wine to go bad.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's not a heart there to pump the blood. I mean, it's there, but it's not working.
Right.
But he goes, fresh from my wine refrigerator. She'll pair quite nicely with Kathleen. He sits it down next to Scuba, and he's like, you might want to let that breathe. This dude is just full of one-liners.
Oh, hell yeah.
I think half of his prep for this event was just writing Thanksgiving-related quips on a notepad somewhere. Like, how about based wishes? No, that sucks. He crosses it out. I suspect foul play. Ooh, okay, now we're getting somewhere. Welcome, everyone. I've been deviled expecting you. It's wonderful to finally eat you all. The man is out of control, and he must be stopped, is my point.
He's good, man. He's good.
I don't even care if he keeps killing. Just chill on this bad improv clinic, dude. This is also where I noticed Carver has a stupid, like, Garth Brooks-style headset mic on.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, what the fuck?
It's hysterical, dude. He looks like a Renaissance fair performer with this shit on. It's so good. Anyway, he holds a knife to Thomas's throat and mentions he missed last year's fun sitting in his mansion. And that's when he stands up and he goes, now we're all going to go around the table and say what we're thankful for. And you're on live, so choose your words carefully.
Oh, shit.
Carver walks up to Evan and sets a camera, a phone, down in front of him. He says, yes, fitting that Evan goes first, since it was Evan's video that inspired him to make his own. Carver picks up a gnarly-ass hammer, like a meat tenderizer kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he goes, get ready, Evan. You're about to break the internet. And he just caves this poor kid's head in.
Yeah. Dude, the effects here are so good.
Dude.
This is so fucking sick.
One whack, and it explodes like a watermelon at a Gallagher show, dude. Like, whew.
Dude, the live stream starts getting a whole bunch of likes.
Right, yeah. He goes, no one appreciates subtlety anymore. To go viral, you really need to hit people over the head. Okay, man, we get it. I'm sorry they didn't have America's Got Talent when you came over on the fucking Mayflower, but I don't think your true calling is in stand-up, all right? Just stick with the murder and shit. You're good at that. He gives him a few more good whacks. Blood sprays up on Lizzie. Practical effects are still fucking top-notch on everything. His head looks insane. Yeah. I also want to take a second to say these actors are all absolutely killing it. Every single one of them is crying and yelling and emoting like a motherfucker. Yeah. Like, excellent job all around.
Agreed.
Carver looks at the live stream and says, look at all those likes. Congratulations, Evan. You're a star. And he scoops up some of the blood with a fucking spoon. This guy is sick. What are you doing, man? And he goes, now that I have your attention, you're probably wondering why you're still alive and they were all killed. He says they were just greedy, but you're the VIPs. It wasn't enough to get in the store early. You had to taunt everyone else too.
Right.
He goes, once this video goes viral, everyone will know how special you are. Too bad you won't be alive to see it. This will be the most famous Thanksgiving dinner since 1621. And every year people will watch this video and think of your greed and the people who died from it.
Damn.
Damn indeed, Regina. Jess discovers at this point that the ring McCarty gave her earlier, of course, has a hidden blade on it.
Damn. Hell yeah, dude.
She starts... Yeah, dude. That's what I'm saying. McCarty's the shit, dude. So she starts going to town on her ropes, right? Scuba sees that she's got something going on there. And so they're like kind of working back and forth for a second here. Carver lives up to his name and walks up to Kathleen and cuts a big chunk off of her leg.
Yeah.
Thomas is crying super hard. Carver talks to him specifically now. He goes, Thomas, you love your consumers. Well, tonight is your night to be one. This...
No, thank you.
Dude, this slab of lady leg is disgusting.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of shit dripping off of it.
It's juicy.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Jess finishes cutting through her ropes and passes the ring over to Scuba. Carver, at this point, puts the piece of Kathleen meat on Thomas's plate, and he goes, take a bite of your lovely wife and show me how thankful you are.
No, thank you.
He goes, show me that you're thankful or die. Scuba cuts through his rope at this point and rips the arm off the chair he's sitting in. Shit, yeah, man. Way to improvise.
Hell yeah.
He's still got his gag in. I think he likes it. Actually, it's a bit of an editing error because he has it on in a shot from his back, and then it cuts to a 180 and it disappears. So there's no way he could have reached up in that time to take it off, but I don't care. Whatever. It's movie rules. So Scuba rushes Carver and knocks him down. Carver swings his axe at Scuba, but he dodges it. Scuba and Jess run out, leaving Thomas and Gabby behind, and Thomas is screaming, run, run. They run down the hall, but Carver literally crashes through a wall in front of them, and he's swinging his axe like a madman. until he gets it lodged in the wall, and then Scuba takes that opportunity to burst through another door like Jason Voorhees. And he and Jess seem to be in the clear for the moment, but only a moment, because Carver comes in behind them. Jess escapes, and Scuba faces Carver down at this point. Carver gets him pretty good in the arm, and poor old Scooby goes down screaming. Carver runs off into the woods to chase down Jess, and we see that both of them run past the same plant on the ground with some kind of burrs or nettles or something on it.
Right.
Keep that in your back pocket for a minute. Jess comes to a fence and decides to climb it, but gets her bracelet caught in it on the top of it on the way down.
Right.
And Carver reaches the fence and swings the axe, but she gets loose just in time. I feel like she still would have fucked up her hand pretty bad regardless, though, right?
I think so, yeah.
She does crunch her ankle pretty good when she lands, though.
Yeah, oof. That shit always gets me, man.
Mm-hmm. Carver just stands there as she runs away. When she clears the woods, she sees the sheriff's car with him laying unconscious next to it. And his face is all fucked up somehow, either burnt or bloodstained. Something's going on with his face. She sees someone enter the parade staging facility. Man, who could that be? She takes Newland's gun and goes to check it out. She sneaks in behind the John Carver figure, and they take the mask off, revealing it's Bobby.
It's fucking Bobby.
What? Oh no, Pretty Boy and his weird Richard Simmons haircut are the killers? No way. Sheriff sneaks up behind Jess and grabs the gun from her while reassuring her. He's like, all right, fucking Jesus, take the wheel. She gives him the gun and fucking pieces out.
Right.
She runs back outside and hears 4 gunshots inside, and the sheriff comes stumbling out. He goes, I think I got him, but I lost him.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Backup shows up to search for Bobby, but he's long gone. So we cut to LaBelle telling Eric he has to turn in his weapon because it's been fired. It's an interesting rule to me. When did they start that, I wonder?
No, that's always kind of been a thing. Yeah. Especially you see it in movies. Mm-hmm. You know, a cop has to shoot somebody or something. They want to take the gun because they got to make sure the bullets match and shit.
Right.
You know, it's all
ballistics.
Yeah. Some fancy cop shit. I don't know.
Right. So he gives his gun to LaBelle, speaking of fancy cops. Then in a new shot, we see someone pick up a hammer off of a table. Back to Jess. She's just listening to whatever the cops are talking about, and Chu walks in. He tells Eric they found a cell phone still logged into the John Carver account. Eric confirms that it's Bobby's. Chu tells Jess they had to sedate her dad pretty heavily, but he's fine. Same with Gabby and Scuba. Chu and LaBelle walk away and give Jess and Eric a chance to talk. He tells her he really couldn't have done this without her. Mm-hmm. She says she needs a minute to catch her breath, and he walks away. And while she's sitting there alone for a minute, she's like picking burrs off of her pants from running through the woods earlier.
Yeah, yep.
He walks back in and tosses a paper towel toward the garbage can, but misses by a fucking country mile and a half. How this dude ever hit anything with a projectile of any kind is beyond me. But when he bends over to pick it up, she notices the burrs from the plant earlier on his pants as well. So
fuck.
She makes the connection at this point. Oh, fuck. Eric is the Carver.
Yeah, what the fuck? How?
There are a couple of moments in this movie where you're like, that's not possible based on what just happened.
Right.
But whatever. Again, this movie rules.
I'll
let it slide.
Well, he knows, she knows.
Yeah.
'Cause she looks at his pants.
Well, yeah, he asks if she's like ready to go, and she looks like super obvious here. Her eyes are so wide and revealing, dude. Like,
yeah.
Obviously, he would figure it out from that. But we do get a couple of audio flashbacks to him telling her that, oh, it's the little details that matter.
Right.
And yeah, he asks her if she's all right, and she says she's not feeling well. He's like, all right, well, we'll get you to a doctor. And he walks out, goes to walk out the door, but stops, realizing now that she knows.
Right.
So he gives it all up. He says, if you'd only been stuck on that fence a second longer.
Yeah, shit.
And he shuts the door and locks it.
Uh-oh.
She stumbles backward, and he says, it's like fumbling on the 1-yard line. Almost funny when you think about it. He goes, you should see the look of surprise on your face right now. She goes, what about Bobby? He says he drugged him and dressed him up to frame him, but when he opened the trunk to get him out, Bobby whacked him in the head with a tire iron and ran off.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, you pointed me in the right direction again, he says. And she goes, why are you doing this? He explains the whole thing.
Motive.
Yep. Here's where we get it all. He explains that after his wife left him, Amanda put him back together. Remember Amanda from the beginning, guys?
Yeah, shit.
She was pregnant with his baby and planned on leaving Mitch.
Damn.
But he goes, but now, instead of spending Thanksgiving with Amanda, I'm stuck here in this office. And now, so are you.
Yeah, you took my damn family away.
He says he needs to go take care of some loose ends and holds up a syringe. And Jess says, wait, I didn't tell you what I was thankful for. And he's like, all right, well, what's that? She goes, the service in here. And she holds up Bobby's phone that she took out of the bag. And she's been live streaming the whole time while he admitted his guilt and confessed to orchestrating the whole thing.
Damn. Dude, she's good.
Yeah, dude.
It's crazy.
She fires back at him. She goes, you should see the look of surprise on your face right now.
Right. Holy shit.
He goes, you fucking bitch. She tries to run, but he throws her to the ground immediately.
Yeah.
He goes to attack her, but something shatters the glass in the window next to him and hits him in the head and puts him down for a minute. I didn't see what was thrown, but I saw who threw it, so I sincerely hope it's a baseball.
So, no, we backed this up a few times. I believe this was the hammer that was picked up.
Oh, okay.
Because the hammer got picked up by somebody with a glove on.
Yep.
Yeah, because I thought it was a baseball
Good
too,
call.
man.
I was hoping it was a baseball, man, because we find out on the other side of the window is fucking old golden arm Bobby.
Right.
Last game of the year, Brent. Can't hold anything back now. But he says... He's like, let's get the fuck out of here, and they run off. Immediately, they come to a dead end, but Jess sees Bobby's uncle's tow truck, and they're going to need that to get out, obviously. Newland comes around the corner holding an axe, of course, and yells out for Jessica. He goes, sorry, Jessica, this year there will be no leftovers. Okay, I guess I'm all right with that line.
I love leftovers.
He goes a little too far with the I told your stepmother she would make an excellent dinner one, though.
Right.
While he's saying all this, he's hacking his way through the clothing racks they're hiding behind. And just before he gets to them, Goldenhair saves the day and throws something to distract the sheriff. So he walks off toward it.
Right.
Yes, I called him Goldenhair on purpose. Jess and Bobby take the opportunity to make a break for it and run toward the truck, but Jess makes a pit stop to turn on the helium tank, and that starts to fill up that big-ass turkey balloon we saw earlier.
Yeah, shit, yeah.
So that slowly starts to inflate. We get some amazing shots of this thing, honestly. I was laughing as it slowly but surely starts to get all Stay Puffed up in this bitch.
Right.
Like, there's one in particular where the focus of the shot is on Eric, but in the corner of the frame, you just see the turkey head, like, muppeting its way out of the shot. Like, it's so good. Jess tries to get to the truck, but the passenger side door is wedged up against a column, so she jumps on the back instead. Dude, no fucking thank you. That thing is way too open and threatening.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't have gotten on the back of that fucking thing.
Should have just went around the other side.
Right. Bobby takes off, but the sheriff isn't far behind. He hits something and gets the truck stuck, giving Newland a chance to catch up, and he attacks Jess. So she blocks his axe with the musket from earlier. And there's another cool little detail. He remembers that she fucked up her ankle falling off the fence earlier. So he capitalizes on that and steps on it.
Right.
Bobby gets the truck free and hits the gas again, which sends Eric sprawling backwards to the ground. But for some reason, the tow cable is unraveling from the truck. So Eric grabs it and wraps it around a column to stop it.
Just in enough time, huh?
Yeah.
Shit would have, like, ripped his arms off if he wouldn't have snapped it fast enough. So the truck lurches to a stop, and we see the turkey almost inflated in the background. And Jess starts loading the musket while Bobby tries to get the truck moving again. And Eric slowly walks toward the truck and toward Jess, dragging the axe across the tow cable as he goes, and another really cool shot, I think. Yeah.
Jess is almost done loading the musket, but drops the musket balls, so she improvises and tosses her mom's bracelet in it instead. Aw, how cute.
Yeah.
Mom's a part of the gang, too. She kisses it before putting it in.
Right.
She aims the gun at Eric and then points it above him instead, and he turns to look behind him at what the fuck she's aiming at, and it's the enormous turkey still rising up behind him. She says, hey, Sheriff, you were right. No leftovers. And she shoots the turkey with the bracelet, penetrating the fabric, the sparks and embers from the musket, and all that helium.
Right.
That's a pretty sizable explosion.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
This also frees the truck so they can get away, and it would appear that Kathleen isn't the only person to get cooked in this movie.
Yeah, Eric's fucking on fire, dude.
We cut to the next morning, and some firefighters are carrying the remains of that poor turkey balloon out as if in a body bag.
Right.
They walk past Bobby and Jess hanging out at the back of an ambulance. Why do we always see that in movies? Does anyone else talk about the weird-ass prologue wrap-up epilogue ambulance hangout trope we always see after the bad guy's officially
when the fuck
dead?
Does that happen?
You know what I mean? Every fucking movie, we always get a good old ambulance
Scream.
hangout. Yeah.
Yep.
So anyway, Jess and Bobby share a hug. He says to take care of herself and to tell Ryan he's still a dick, even if he's not the killer. The ambulance doors close, and speak of the devil, here comes Ryan to check in on Jess. Gabby, Scuba, and McCarty walk up as well. There's a firefighter who walks up and tells Chew and LaBelle that they searched everything and it was all incinerated, nothing but ash. No one could have possibly survived a blast like that. Speaking of tropes. Yeah.
Yeah, we get the camera focusing on a fireman leaving now.
Right.
Which is pretty fucking obvious.
Yeah, while he's saying all that, the camera kind of oddly focuses in on that one firefighter, and he's got the full face mask on, so you can't tell who it is. And Jess kind of gives a knowing look in that direction. So yeah, sequel setup. I mean,
Yep.
I kind of hope so. I could go for a second helping of this movie.
Yeah, I think so too.
We cut from there to Jess and Ryan in bed in the middle of the night, and the closet door creaks, which wakes Jess up, so she goes to check it out, but doesn't find anything, and as she turns to walk back to bed, Sheriff Eric Newland, none other, bursts out of the closet, fully engulfed in flames, and grabs her, but then she wakes up for real, and she looks at the closet door, and the credits roll. So, the end? Question mark?
It's not the end. But I'm okay with the part 2, man.
Yeah, I think so.
This movie got a lot of hate for some reason, and I thought it was good.
Did it really? I don't know if I saw a lot of that.
I didn't see a lot of people really saying they enjoyed it. I did. I thought it was
definitely
great.
did. Yeah, the entire time this movie wraps you in such a Thanksgiving aesthetic and fucking nails it the whole time. The decorations, the food, the inclusion of like the way that he's killing people with food related things, or I think it's really well done, all of it. But yeah, it actually wasn't quite the end though, because we get one more stinger scene of Rick Hoffman flipping off the camera in an outtake. So okay, now it's the end. But yeah, dude, like what? Like overall, you said you liked it. How much? What?
Probably right down the middle. I don't think anything was. Well, I guess I take that back. The effects were amazing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm an Eli Roth fan.
Apparently.
I'd say 6 out of 10.
We could tell. 6 out of 10?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not bad. I actually really like this movie, man. It does a great job settling you into that Thanksgiving world. Like the kills are all really well done. Well done. The imagery in this is fantastic as someone who's always found pilgrims creepy, and I love creepy things, so it's perfect for me. Great script, great acting, great concept. The gore is on point the entire time.
Oh, yeah.
And it manages to keep it classy. Now I need a nap.
Feeling kind of full, huh?
I'm giving this one 9 out of 10 meat thermometers, dude.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, not that we're planning on Eli Roth all the time, but I would expect his stuff just to keep popping up, man.
The Roth Pod.
Yeah,
we're rebranding next week, everybody.
I really enjoy his movies,
Yeah, serve it to your family and friends, I say. Anything else you want to toss in before we wrap it up?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us. We had a good time. We hope you did too, everybody. Thanks for joining us. As always, you can get a hold of us by shooting a message over to cinebytespod@gmail.com. Follow us on all of our socials at Cinebytespod. We've got Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. We've got a YouTube going on. Go check out all the things. If you want to donate to our Thanksgiving meal fund, you can do so by visiting cinebytespod.buzzsprout.com. As always, everyone, dreams are fleeting. Only nightmares last forever. Follow your nightmares.
Boy.
Kill her, Mommy. Kill her.
I bid you welcome.
Plymouth, Massachusetts.
It's not even Britishy stuff.